All right, folks, go ahead and jump in here real quickly. This is Wesley Virgin. I got a great video for you. So, as you guys jump in here, let's talk about. We're not going to talk about the internet business today, okay? No internet stuff, but we will talk about Millionaire Mind Hacks, okay? And I've never shared this story before, but I want to share it with you, and I want to share it publicly with you. Why? Because I think it's important for a man to be very transparent about his life, okay? And I want to be honest with you. And I want you to answer the question that you see here. I want you to answer this question, okay? As you guys jump in here. What's up, Pam? So, Kim Moore, how are you? What is the greatest power on the planet? Okay? I want you to tell me. All right? What is the greatest power on the planet? You may say, well, Wesley, why do you ask that question? Because I've never shared this story before. 5-6 years ago, I started to listen to monks, Buddhists. Okay, I'm not a Buddhist, okay, but I listened to them. Why? Because I was really fascinated about their quality of life, their living. I was fascinated about that. In that time, I wasn't rich. I didn't have any money, but I was on the journey to success, just like you. And I came to the realization that I knew I was going to make a lot of money. I knew it. I just knew it inside of myself, okay? Like I had an intuition that I knew I was. And what I started to do was I started to wanted to understand what my purpose was, right? Because, I don't know about you, but I really wanted to make a lot of money. So I wanted it very badly. But I started to say, what's my purpose? Because Wesley, once you make the money, what do you do next? And I was searching for enlightenment. I was searching for my purpose. And I started to listen to a lot of monks and Buddhists because I like them because they're always happy people, right? Because I thought about it for a second. I said, well, despite all the money that I'm going to make, it's one emotion that I always want to feel for the rest of my life, whether I make a lot of money or don't. And I wanted to always be happy, okay? Excited, enthusiastic about life. Why? Because it's a good feeling. So I want you guys, hey, what's up, Ronnie? What's up, Yvonne? What's up, Miles Spears? I want you to attempt to answer that question, okay? I'm not going to throw rocks at you if you get it wrong, but I want to help you. And yes, this video does relate to being able to create millions of dollars and to be very successful, okay? What is the greatest power on the planet? Let's see if anybody can answer it correctly. If you can answer it correctly, I give you $100. How about that? Okay? What is the greatest power? And guys, feel free to share this and like this video because this is going to be a very emotional video maybe for you. I'm going to share a story that I've never shared before, but it will help you. Okay, because one thing that you really have to understand as relates as you get older, some of you guys are getting older, 30, 40, 50 years old, and the pursuance with your goals and dreams is what is called self-introspection, self-analyzation. And I did that with myself before I made a lot of money because I was doing all the things that you're currently doing, reading books, following me, watching my videos, watching other motivational videos, taking action every day, doing different things, hoping that my dreams and goals will be fulfilled, okay? And it will come a time, and I'm talking to you, it's going to come a time, if you're really serious about your life as far as accomplishing great achievements, that you will know that you're going to be rich. You'll know it. You'll know it maybe a year or 2 years before it, okay? So does anybody know what is the greatest power on the planet? Take a stab at it. Come on. Come on, you. Yeah, come on, Alec, Kim Moore. Some of you guys are smart, right? Come on now. You're intelligent people. What is the greatest power on the planet? Okay? The greatest power ever. I just did the same live on Instagram, and they had a couple of things. Somebody put God. Somebody put divine, right? Somebody put people. What is the greatest power on the planet? Okay, so since you guys don't want to entertain me and play with me here tonight, I'm going to tell you, okay? The greatest power on the planet, it's not God, okay? It's not the mind, okay? Self-control, okay? Listen, It's self-control. Now, I want you to think about this. Some of you guys say, no, Wesley, it's definitely God. It's definitely the mind. The mind is powerful. Listen for a second, okay? The mind is powerful, but I don't think it's the greatest power. And let me tell you why. It's self-control. Because, see, right now, do you know that you have to use some level of self-control to watch a video like this, hoping and believing that this video is going to help you increase your quality of life? Do you know right now it's the weekend, right? Everybody's having fun. But what are you doing? It takes self-control for you to lay there or sit there to watch a video like this. Am I making sense? Okay. It takes self-control. Like right now, I know some of you guys want to go out there and go drink, right? You're like alcoholics, right? Smoke some weed, right? Go chase women, right? You want to go just do other things other than the thing that you need to do to fix your financial situation or even your life. Self-control. Let me tell you why self-control, and I'm going to tell a story that, I'm not so proud about, but I did it. So I have a son and a daughter. And you know what? My son is really easy to parent. My boy, he's easy to parent. But my daughter, Jesus Christ, whoa, Lord. It's tough, okay? So my daughter did something and I had to punish her. I hate punishing my daughter because she's my princess. I love her. She's probably the only woman that affects me emotionally, okay? Now understand this. Now listen to me what happened here. So I had to punish her. So she got mad. All right, I said, go to bed, lay down. She started to sing. And she was singing loud so I could hear her, right? I came back in the room, hey! Right? Hey! Stop singing! Go to bed, right? Now let's pause for a second. Now the first question is this. Why did I scream? And this is important. I hope you guys get this. This is very important. Why did I scream at my daughter? Okay, she did something wrong. She didn't listen to me. But why did I raise my voice? See, I had to ask myself these questions like 2 days later. I said, why did I raise my voice at her? Did I need to? Could I just say, hey, baby, can you, lay down? You did something wrong, so this is your punishment. Go later. Why did I raise my voice? And I started to think about it when I was driving my Lamborghini. I was just driving. I was like, wow, you know what? I was doing and repeating the same behavior of my dad. Like my dad will always scream at us. He will always raise his voice all the time. Don't do that. Sit down. Shut up. Be quiet. You're going to get a whooping. Why did you do that? Why did you lie? So that's what I remember when I was a child. So when I got older as a grown man, as a father of children, I started to repeat that behavior, right? And what I realized, because see, the thing is about me, I always want to get better, always. Which means to get better, you must be vulnerable, okay? Let me say it again. To be better, you must be vulnerable. That means you must identify your weaknesses. And I was weak in that area because I didn't have to scream. I didn't have to raise my voice. I lacked self-control. Because, see, when I raised my voice, even though maybe I made her lay down, but now she may start to resent me, right? She would get upset at me. She'll lay down and say, I can't believe Dad did that, blah, blah, blah. So the problem is this. And let me give you another example. It's a great example as it relates to self-control with women and men as it comes to getting married, In relationships, men and women, they have conversations and sometimes they turn into arguments, right? You argue with your spouse. And sometimes a man believes that he's always right? Men always think they're right. But let me share some with you. Even though that man may be right, and maybe he proved that woman wrong, and he won the argument, right? He got her to do what he wanted her to do. But what you're not thinking about is that woman, when she feels that she's wrong, she is now not in a happy state. My daughter, she's wrong, but she's not in a happy state. Which means she's thinking about it. Like that woman, she's thinking about it. She's not going to have sex with you. She don't want to deal with you. Maybe you were right. Maybe you proved her wrong. You made her look stupid, right? And now you expect her to be happy. because I did it. I screwed up because I wanted my daughter to be happy. Hey, baby, come in here. And she like, yeah, what? She had an attitude, right? It's because I didn't use what was called self-control. Now, listen to me here, folks. It's the greatest power on the planet here. When I went to India, in the beginning, I started to watch YouTube videos about monks and Buddhists. And I discovered that they had a lot of self-control. And then when I had the opportunity to go to India, I had the opportunity to actually see these people, how they interact with their world, with cultures, with people. I asked them a question. Because if you've ever been to India or any type of indigenous countries, they chant a lot, right? They chant over and over and over again, right? Over and over. And they do a lot of meditation, right? All the time, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I said, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking about while you're doing this? Now, listen, okay? For all you people who don't know how to meditate, let me share something with you. I said, what are you doing? Like, when you're sitting there, because I'm very curious. I said, when you're sitting there and you're chanting these chants that I don't understand what they mean, and they're chanting over and over again, I said, what are you doing, like, inside of yourself? I mean, are you praying? I mean, because, you know, when I grew up, my parents told me to pray for things. Pray to God for things to happen. Pray for forgiveness. Pray for everything. And I said, well, what are you doing? Because it seemed like you're happy every day. You know, I went to India. These people don't have nothing, but they're happy, they're excited, they're laughing, and they're smiling. And in America, everybody's pissed off, man. They're angry, upset, bitter, jealous. So I went across the world because I wanted to figure out, how are these people, how do they have this type of quality of life even though they have nothing? And so I said, what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? Like, I can see you praying, but what are you doing inside yourself? He says, Wesley, you can see our prayers because a prayer can be seen. What I'm doing inside of myself, I am being thankful and grateful for the things I want to see in my physical world. That's what he told me. And I'm like, what do you mean? He says, Wesley, when I'm chanting, I am feeling the feeling of the experience I wish to have. Let me say it again. He said, I am feeling the experience that I wish to have. Now, at that time, I had made my money, right? Because I went overseas, and I thought about that for a while. And I was like, wow, he's feeling the experience. He's feeling it. And that's different from what I've learned here in America, right? Because when I went to church, and guys, I'm going to be honest with, if you don't mind, let me be honest with you. You know, when I went to church, they told me to pray for something, like pray for riches, pray for health, pray for everything, right? And I went to church, I used to see people cry in tears, right? They're in tears, crying to God, God, please help me. And I was confused because this was happening all over, just like every Sunday, the same people, same problems, everybody's crying, everybody's upset, everybody wants things to change in their life. And these Buddhist people, these monks, have said that, well, what we do is we create the feeling within ourselves, and we feel the feeling of that thing happening to us. So when you see like monks and all these people like chanting, that's what they're doing. They're creating this experience, this feeling that's overwhelming inside of themselves. Now let's get back to self-control. Okay? Let's get back to self-control. When you have self-control, that means nothing outside of you, no man, no woman, no child, no nothing can disrupt or make you feel emotional to the point that you're reacting in a very negative way. Listen to me. Now, this changed my entire world. Now, I understood this before I made my first million. Now, this was before I made the money. I learned this. I was just watching YouTube videos. Listen, Self-control. The reason why it's the greatest power on the planet is if I can control how I think, if I can control how I feel, right? If I can control my behavior, I have total control over my world and over people's world. And you might say, okay, Wesley, that makes sense, but how do you have control over other people? Because the majority of people don't have self-control. Let me give you an example. How many times have you driven a car and someone cut you off? And you said, motherfucker, you cut me off. Hey, mother, you cut me off. You honking the horn. Hun, move over. I was here first. How many of you did that? Don't tell on yourself. How many of you did that? Now, let me give you another example. If I call you a bitch, fucker. Right now, all of you just experienced something, right? Some of you like, what? Did he just call me a bitch? Did he just curse? You talking to me, right? That's lacking self-control. When I went to India, these type of language, like these taboo words that we have in America, all these curse words, you use them with them, they don't even move. They smile. You can say, you stupid. They smile at you. I swear to God. Because we had this one rude lady in the group, and she was like, hey, get out my way. And he just smiled at her. It blew my mind. See, if that type of language, or you go to Taco Bell. Some of you guys are like this, right? You go to Taco Bell, you get your tacos, but they forgot to give you the fucking taco sauce. And you like, hey man, where's my taco sauce? Where's my ketchup for my French fries, right? Think about it for a second. All of you have done it. I've done it before. That's lacking self-control. See, when you can control your own behaviors, when you can control how you feel, it's very difficult for you to do anything great in your world. It's hard. It's not impossible. Because you got some people that are celebrities that make a lot of money. They have no self-control as either. But see, check this out. What you really want is really not millions of dollars. Not all the fancy cars and driving around the world. That's not what you really want. This feeling of like certainty, happiness, joy, love all the time. That's it. That's what you really want. Some of you guys would agree with me. Some of you said, no, Wesley, I really do want the cars. And I understand that. But see, when you have self-control, now you have total control over your world. Now, you might say, well, Wesley, how do I get self-control? You're right. I like this. Because this is not nothing. This is like I'm preaching to the choir right now. Everybody understands what self-control is, but you don't use it. The monk told me, Wesley, to get self-control, you must know thyself. Oh, I'm like, this is some Socrates shit. I'm like, what? You must know thyself. You must know Wesley Virgin, right? And I said, what do you mean? You got to know when Wesley gets upset, you need to know why he gets upset. When Wesley gets angry, you need to know why Wesley gets angry. When Wesley gets depressed, you need to know why he gets depressed. When he wakes up one morning and all of a sudden he just feels like he's going to have a negative day, he needs to know why. If you don't know why, you're in trouble. Am I making sense, folks? Let me turn this back to you. Some of you right now have experiences in your past that if you would think about it, you would start crying. Can I get an amen? Just be honest with me. Right now, all of you, things have happened to you in your past. If you would just think about it, maybe you've been abused, hurt, cheated on, slapped, physically abused, emotionally abused, something, maybe a tragic experience that you don't even want to talk about, but if you would think about it, you'll start crying. You will start sobbing. You will start saying, I don't want to think about it, Wesley. if you can't deal with that, if you don't allow yourself to deal with that, if you don't forgive that person, forgive that situation, it's going to be very hard for you to ever live the type of life that you deserve to live with joy, happiness, love. Now, I learned this from the Buddhist. I'm serious. I learned this from the monk. He was talking to me because I had things in my life that I hadn't dealt with. I didn't want to deal with it. Some of you right now, some of the things that have taken place in your life that you know hurts you to your core, you can't even forgive the person that did that to you, right? Some of you going to say, I can't forgive them. I can't. And I want you to pay attention to what you're doing. When you think about that and you say, I can't forgive them, they ruined my life, right? Some of you think like that right now. That's lacking self-control. Because how can a person ruin your life? You're still here. You're watching this video. You're still breathing. You got arms, you got legs. You out there making money, right? You out there doing great things in the world. But some of you would say that people ruined your life, or they ruined the first 5 years of your life. They ruined. That is lacking self-control. You're losing the power. See, it's when someone can approach you and call you a negative word, call you a whore, call you a bastard, call you dumb, bitch, stupid, fucker, whatever, and you remain neutral, you have power over them. Let me tell you what else that monk told me. I tell this to my children every day. He said, Wesley, it's your responsibility when someone is trying to give you pain not to take it. Listen, when someone online, in your family, at your job, even when you're driving, trying to give you pain, it's your responsibility not to accept the pain. And that was tough. I was like, wow. So you're telling me if I truly want to live a successful life, because a successful life is more than money, believe it or not. How do I know that? Because I got a lot of money. And okay, great. I could do a lot of things, but I could do a lot of things very quickly. Okay, 1 year, 2 year, I mean, it's just not enough. But he said, Wesley, if you want to sustain happiness for the rest of your life, if you want to be this person that is always experiencing joy, all these positive emotions for the rest of your life, forgive the people that did you wrong. Love them. Adore them. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? So what he told me was that I need to love everybody that's ever cheated on me, hurt me, did me wrong, abused me, told me that I was nothing. He told me that I must not just forgive them, love them. Woo. And I was like, wow. All right, it's easier said than done, right? And my journey began. And what I did personally, I started to love everybody. See, that's when I come on video and I'm always enthusiastic and happy because I love everybody, even you. Even the people right now that don't like me, I love you more. Why? Because I asked them why. I said, why do I need to love them? Because that's what they need, Wesley. He said, when someone is negative towards you, when someone is trying to intentionally hurt you, the thing that they need immediately is love. They don't need more hate. They don't need a conversation. They don't need an argument. They need love. That's all they need. It blew my mind. Listen to me, young world, older world. The greatest power on the planet is self-control. It's being able to control you, your whim. See, you, like right now it's late. You know what you're going to do after this video. You know exactly what you're going to do. You know what you're thinking about. But self-control is having the ability to know thyself. How do you know thyself? You got to spend time with yourself alone. See, some of you think it's stupid to talk to yourself. And I think it's smart to talk to yourself because you already do it. Even my daughter. Like if I punish her, if I raise my voice, she gonna be like, man, he always doing this, blah, 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 blah. She gonna talk under her voice. She's talking to herself. You do it too. When someone do you wrong at your job, right? Somebody don't give you the ketchup on your I told you they didn't give me my ketchup on my French fries and they didn't do that. You people at my job, they keep just doing this and I'm getting sick and tired of them. What you doing? You talking to yourself. Okay? You talking to yourself. You're having a conversation with yourself and you're losing the conversation. Because whenever someone can take you out of that vibration of happiness, of love, of joy, because that's how people that are rich should feel, right? If you got more money in the bank, you should always feel love, joy, happiness, like all the time. If someone can take you out of that vibration, you lack self-control. You have relinquished your power to other people. So you ever thought about why so many people are not living amazing, great, juicy lives? Let me tell you why. It's because they don't believe this. Like what I'm saying right now, they don't believe it. They don't believe that they can control themselves. They believe if someone, let me give you an example. Someone, I don't want to be too drastic here, but say if someone came to your house, slapped you in the face. Someone cursed you out. Maybe you lost your mom. Maybe you lost your daughter. Maybe you lost your father. I'm not saying that you don't deal with that, but suffering is a choice. See, as things happen to us, listen to me, as things happen to us in our world, suffering is a choice. You can feel bad for a second. You can be like, man, I can't believe that happened, but let me move on. But if you suffer, that is a conscious choice that you're doing. And most of you are doing it unconsciously, and you wonder why your focus is everywhere. See, the thing is, understand this. I want to be very clear. For you to make millions of dollars, for you to do something very exceptional, you got to be great at it, period. I don't know what you're doing, but if you want piles of money in the bank account coming in all the time, unless your mama, your dad, or your grandfather had a pension plan for you, you got to do something great. To do something great, it has to have all your focus. If you can control yourself on a Saturday night, and someone tells you that they need you to go here, or someone tells you that you fucked up, that you screwed up, that you did this, and your attention goes there, you lost. You know, this is why I think it takes people so long to make a lot of money, because they're always dealing with themselves, right? See, this is why I talk about isolation all the time. Sometimes you got to isolate yourself. It's okay to isolate yourself. Get alone. Because, see, when you're alone, you can control the entire environment. Because, see, you might not be ready to be around a lot of people because you can't control yourself. Some of you get angry easily. I know it. Some of you get angry easily. Someone can piss you off just like this. Do you understand? If people can make you feel an emotion, you know who does the best in news? The news. If right now, if I turn that TV on and they say that a child was thrown over the bridge by her mom, all of you will have tears in your eyes. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord. Why does she do that? This world is so... And see, you'll think that's just. You just think that's, I can't believe this is happening in the world. You're lacking self-control. Because you're allowing outside. See, every time you leave your place, your house, even in your house, that's, the disadvantage about iPhones and social media, because you can look through social media and you can feel happy, you can feel sad, you can be pissed off, you can be inspired within seconds. So you think about it for a second, right? If your emotions is everywhere, how do you ever have this emotion called gratefulness and happiness about the thing that you want to experience in your life, such as wealth, prosperity, traveling the world, doing whatever you want to do with your family? How are you going to do that if you can't control yourself? If you can control how outside influences that are absolutely strategically trying to influence you, if you can't control that, how are you going to make $1 million? Self-control is the greatest power on the planet. I know some of you right now, when I was talking about those experiences that have taken place in your life in the past that hurt you to the core. Some of you are in like dark depression. Deep depression. When you think about it, right? You're like, man, I was in deep depression about that. And I know some of you didn't want to hear that. Some of you left the video when I started to talk about that. And what you're doing, you're running away, man, you know, and you wonder what is going on because, see, you think it's something outside of you that is not right. It's the reason why your life is not the way it should be, right? Some of you just wish, I don't even want to be rich, Wesley. I just want to have a happy life. As if a happy life is someone outside of you. The happy life is in you. It's already there. You're not paying attention because you're too busy trying to control things outside of you instead of trying to control and know thyself. Is this easy? No. Because when I told you guys to think about some of those terrible experiences that have transpired in your life, that you think that's not affecting you, that you think that's not bothering you, it is. Some of you get headaches every day, don't you? Some of you get headaches every day. Some of you, your back always hurt. Don't even work out, but your back hurt. Some of you got stomach pains, chest pains for no reason. The doctor don't know why. You don't know why. Well, let me tell you what it is. It's all those experiences, those negative experiences, all those things that you haven't dealt with. It has to materialize. Everything does. Like if you're harboring a bad experience and you refuse to forgive, you refuse to address that situation to yourself, you don't even have to talk to the other person. You got to forgive them for you. You got to say, you know what? I forgive you. And I love that person. I love the person that cheated on me. I love that person who abused me. I love that person who emotionally abused me, sexually abused me, physically abused me. I love them. Right? See, the best way I can describe this is this. Love the person, but hate the behavior. My child, I love her, but I didn't like the behavior. I got to make sure I don't get those two mixed up. See, my child, she has to know that even though when she does the wrong thing, I still got to love her. She got to know this. I can say, why did you do this? You this, and you this, because she'll think I hate her. No, baby, I love you, but I didn't like what you did. You got to be clear about that. If not, she'll think that mommy and daddy don't love her anymore because of what she did. And she will start to self-deprecate. She will start to say, man, I'm just so stupid. I can't do the right thing. You know, I keep doing the wrong thing. No, think. That's what a lot of you guys are doing. That's what you're doing. You got to separate your behavior from who you are. How do you do that? You got to know thyself. You have to start to self-control yourself. You have to start to stand consciously, making decisions consciously, even though you have this habitual urge to do something that's going to be absolutely destructive to your world and other people's world, like excessive alcohol, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, watching too much TV, watching too much negative TV, watching too much negative, dramatic type of shows. That you know that you're only doing this stuff because it's giving you immediate pleasure, but it's destroying your life. You just don't see it yet. You just don't see it. I love you. If any of you got any value from this video, hit the like and share button because people need to understand this. And I want people to know this because it changed my entire life. Before I made money, I want to make that clear. Before I made the money, I understood this. Before I made the money, because I knew it. And you might say, Wesley, how did you know it? Explain that to me. Well, right now you have a vehicle that you drive. And I'm pretty sure you believe and know that your car or truck is outside in the garage or in the driveway. Can I get an amen? But are you thinking about it right now? You be like, well, you know, where's my car right now? I hope my car is still out there. But at the same time that you're not thinking about your car because you believe and know it's safe, is it a possibility that someone can take your car, that they can vandalize your car, that they can take the cars, they can take the tires, take the wheels, right? It can happen, but you know it's there. So since you know it's there, you don't think about it. Just right now, your heart is beating. Did you know that? Since you know your heart is beating, you're not thinking about, hey, did I skip a beat? Did my heart miss a beat? No, you're not thinking about that. Your heart is beating right now. You're not like, hey, I got to make sure my heart is beating. Okay, my heart is beating. Okay, great. How many times have you did that in the morning? Check your heart. Hey, my heart beating. Okay, great. No, you didn't do that. You know it's beating. Like right now, it's a vein that's coursing through your neck that's giving you life right now. You're not thinking about that. You know it's there. So me, I just knew I was going to be very successful. So since I knew about it, I wasn't thinking about it consciously. I wasn't like, oh, when it's going to happen. No, I just knew it was going to happen just as my liver is working for me. Even though I am putting no conscious attention on my liver, on my kidneys, on my digestive system. I have no type of conscious attention on it. I just know it's going to work. So when I knew I was going to have the money, when I knew that what I'm doing right here for you, I knew I was going to do this, my life got easier before I made any money. My life was simple because I understood that I had total self-control of what I would do. My mind, how I think, my actions, my habits, and my behaviors. And I want to tell you from the top of my heart that you have total self-control over your world too. All it is a decision. It's just a choice. Is it going to be difficult? Maybe so. It's certain things you have done for so long. You have certain feelings that you have felt for so long. Certain experiences that you have not wanted to think about for so long that you're going to face tonight. Don't let anybody take your joy. Don't let anybody take your happiness. It doesn't matter if you have $1 or $1 million in your bank account. It doesn't matter if you got a cheating husband or cheating spouse. It doesn't matter if your coworkers are pissing you off because they want to fire you. Don't let anybody take your joy. Because see, that's one thing on the planet that we have total authority over. Is our joy, our happiness. We do. That's self-control. See, the people with self-control, good things tend to happen to them. Listen, the man or woman who has self-control, good things tend to happen to them all the time. They always get the opportunities. People want to gravitate towards them. Why? Because the majority of the world are not using any type of self-control. They're letting the world happen to them instead of them creating their world. They're living by cause and effect instead of cause and effect. You should be causing an effect to happen. Just like that monk. I learned so much because see, I'm not interested in religion. You know, I'm not interested in religion and this and God. You know what I'm interested? You know what I'm interested in? Into how people live their lives. Like I want to be like people who are always happy regardless of things are going well or things are going terrible. I like these type of people. Okay, why? Because that's within my experience. You know, some of you, I know you believe it. I believe in God too. Trust me. But some of you put too much into God. You know, oh God, you know, you're gonna do this, and God, you're gonna save me. God, you're gonna do this, and God is my this, and God is my that. And I'm thinking, well, first of all, God is not even in your experience. When I say if your experience, like I can touch this laptop. See, the thing is about God, you know, I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but see, if God was to come in your room right now, if God was to come down and look at you right in your eyes right now, you wouldn't believe. You'll ask for an investigation. Well, I don't know if you God. Well, is that God? No, I'm not. Well, yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, to be honest with you. So what I'm saying is this. Learn to deal with things that are in your experience, right? Like you can actually control how you feel right now, this moment. You can control your behaviors. Like right now, you can do that. Like right now, when this video leaves, you can be grateful about your entire world for 5 minutes. You can be grateful about everything that's going on in your life. You can be just grateful for the things that you're not even conscious aware of, but it still works for you, like your heart. Like you're breathing right now. I'm talking and breathing. Wow. How does that work? How can you talk and breathe? I'm grateful for that. You can do that right now. You have total power. When you do that, you have total power of your life. I love you guys so much. I am done. This is Wesley Billion-Dollar Virgin. I love you guys so much. Thank you for liking and sharing this video around the world. Self-control is the greatest power on the planet. Think about it. Before you go to bed tonight, before you do whatever you're going to do, I want you to consider that having total self-control over you will change your entire world faster. Much love. Let's go! Later.